So we're continuing in our playthrough of Invasion Pearl Harbor from World at War number 14, and we're starting a new day, December 9th, 1941. It's the morning. And this happens to also be the last turn of carrier combat for this battle. Japanese supplies are running out, and it's also the last day for operations. At this point in the game, the Japanese player has 13 victory points, but needs 22 victory points to win. The United States 25th Infantry Division is mostly out of action at this point, but the 24th Division is deployed in strength in the vicinity of Pearl Harbor, and that is where most of the remaining victory points are located. So we go to the carrier warfare phase next. So during the ship disposition segment, the Japanese commander decides to keep all of his ships in the close-in box. Now that is a risk, but I suspect that I'm going to need all of the carrier and battleships to support the upcoming attacks on Pearl Harbor. Now the United States Naval Commander also decides to put both the Lexington and Enterprise in the close-in box, and we're hoping to be able to debit the Japanese victory points in naval combat by eliminating some ships. Since both sides have carriers in the close-in boxes, there is a potential for carrier warfare. So get a roll of die on the carrier warfare table, and the result is that the Japanese Navy finds the U.S. Navy. So the Japanese naval commander allocates 3 air units to each of the American carriers. The first 2 are against the Enterprise and miss, but the third gets a hit, so the Enterprise is damaged. So the Enterprise is removed, and the Japanese player collects another victory point for that. The Lexington is also hit by Japanese carrier aircraft and is subsequently sunk, and that gives the Japanese 3 more victory points. So now the Japanese victory point total is up to 17. So that didn't really work out well for the American Navy. We go to the submarine combat phase, and the United States Navy commits its submarines to another attack against the Japanese Navy. Another miss. So the Japanese player now only needs 5 more victory points to win this game. Taking advantage of the early action, the initiative, the Japanese select the combat phase right away. So the Army has surrounded part of the 25th Infantry Division just north of Fort Shafter. So there is an attack launched there, and it's a success, and the Army advances, and both American units there are eliminated. Then the commander of the Japanese Marines attacks the 25th Infantry Division on the southern flank of Fort Shafter, and that attack is also supported by the battleship Hiei, and 2 air units from the Japanese air carriers also fly in support. So I decided to use the USAAF air unit to fly some defensive ground support, and as a result, the Americans continue to hold the position, but they do lose 3/4 of their troops here. Then the Japanese Marines attack the U.S. Marine Corps units deployed east of the fort, and the battleship Kirishima also fires, and there is ground support from 3 of the carrier missions. So the Marines end up overwhelmed and eliminated, and the SNLF advances. The final attack by the Japanese is carried out by the Marine units in Honolulu against the 2 infantry companies remaining from the 25th Infantry, and the Japanese carriers have 1 mission left to support a ground attack, so they use it, and both American infantry units are eliminated in the combat. So then we go to the United States activation chit draws. So the U.S. 25th Infantry is now reduced down to only 2 companies remaining of the entire division that can fight. And one of them tries to fall back toward the 24th Infantry Division's position, and the other moves into the oil storage area on the north side of Pearl Harbor. It is a victory point location, so I'm trying to defend it, but it's also a very dangerous position to defend. Then the U.S. 24th Infantry Division rearranges a couple of units for better positions. And then I decided as the American to make a risky move by having the 24th counterattack against the Japanese Army, which are the orange units. And as a result of this attack, the Japanese forces do suffer a step loss. Then we go to the Japanese movement phase. The Japanese Marines move into the vicinity of Pearl Harbor, and subsequently they seize some of the oil storage tanks. You can see that in the picture near Ford Island. You've got some red units there with the oil storage, which yields 1 victory point. Then the Army units, which are orange, move into position for another round of attacks against the 24th Infantry Division. And that's going to bring turn number 9 in Invasion Pearl Harbor to a close. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for another video. Have a great day.